Hi, I'm Miro. I'm a TNT champion.
This is Rachel Ellerine, the queen of Strong Smile.
I'm Eric Bischoff.
Live events, all right? When the WWE comes on the holiday tour, when they come to Ireland.
Or Davy Boy without hair braids.
As a fan with braids, as a dog without braids.
And you
are watching
WrestleSlam.
WrestleSlam.
And you're watching WrestleSlam.
So hi everybody and welcome to a very special episode of WrestleSlam. Nice midweek picker-upper for you there. We thought it was only essential after witnessing the beauty that was Sunday night for AEW All Out. And we thought it was only essential. We would have to do a quick review of this because let's face it, my opinion, regardless of what anybody else to say, Nick, is that it was probably my pay-per-view of 2021, if not 2020, 2021, hands down.
Agree.
I'm going to go as far as this is the best show since Money in the Bank 2011.
Yes. Words, Phil. Fighting words. To be fair, though, it was something else. I mean, the bar has been set so high. And as many of their new signees have said, they're no longer that other wrestling company. They are serious competition. Not even serious competition anymore. They have raised the game so much. And you know what? I'm absolutely ecstatic about it because they needed a boot in the hole. They got a boot in the hole. And the scramble of a shit show they put together last night just goes to show they literally don't know what to do, and they have been scared, feared, and they are running. And I'm fucking thrilled because it's about time. So moving fly straight into it. So first we had the buy-in. So we had Orange Cassidy and Friends versus House of Hardy. Done with a set in the tin, no major shakes. You know, I was fairly sure what was all going to happen and what was going to come out of it. Matt, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I actually thought it was actually a pretty good opener. I mean, we all knew what was going to happen. That it was just going to be Orange Cassidy and Friends actually going to be winning this because like, look, it's only fair. The most popular, one of the most popular wrestlers on the roster is going to win this. So like, to be honest, I wasn't like really focusing on the match. I'm going to toss it out there, but it was actually a good like starter. Was a good way to actually introduce to All Out. So this was going to be a good opener, as I said. So definitely enjoyed it. And of course, the Butcher making his debut. He's
back, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's not the best debut of that night. So we're gonna get into that in a bit. But it was a good opener on both sides. So I'm really happy with it.
We all know it was the Young Bucks Spears. That was the best one. We know, Matt. It's okay. But tell me, Phil, you weren't too happy about the Lucha Brothers status going into this pay-per-view. You were very, very vocal about it. But massive pop they got when they come out. Yeah.
That's like the thing is like they're probably going to win the trios belts, which makes more sense. Yeah, which makes more sense that they would win the trio belts.
Big time. They're super over, so it's a good basis for it. They're super over, and even like Jungle Boy, I mean, he's the most over out of all of them, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just so nice to see, and he's got years ahead of him. So, good old opener. We cruised straight into the main event then. And we had our TNT champion Miro taking on #Redeem These Nuts, Eddie Kingston. Jerry C, what did you make of this?
Miro is a fucking tank.
Yeah.
Lads,
he is.
The fucking wall, isn't he?
A specimen like no other. I remember shaking his hand at Exodus many years ago, and he nearly snapped my fucking hand. Just incredible. I love him. I think he's. I can't see him being beat. I really can't. I don't know who's going to beat him. I don't know. You know how he's going to drop the belt. But I can see him being a double champ. Maybe the first double champ in All Elite.
There's a rumor that Eddie's going to beat him in a few weeks.
They're going to New York, aren't they? You know, they're going to New York. Imagine him beating him on home turf.
Yeah. Eddie's probably the guy to beat him, though. Like, you know, as you said, look, if there's someone that deserves to beat him, it's Eddie. Like, Eddie's a great guy, you know, great fan base, you know, great wrestler. But Miro's an absolute tank. And
he is,
if he drops that belt, he's going to challenge whoever's the AEW champion the following night. Like, that's the way it's going to go down.
Yeah.
Big time. I mean, he's super, super over, and he's so likable, and he just looks like he has the biggest fucking issue with everybody he meets on the street. And you know he's the one, if you're starting a fight, that he's in your corner, you're good. You know, that kind of way, but he's just so likable, and he's money on the mic. You can't take that away from him. And just to see him go over the home turf in a few weeks, delighted that there were some shenanigans, as we like to say, because that makes his win, which will come, that bit sweeter, you know. So we like shenanigans, and we like that it wasn't a straightforward victory for him. Mick, were you a fan of this?
Huge fan of this. I wasn't sure which match is going to open the night, and when I heard Eddie Kingston's music hit, I was like, I'm unsure if it was the right choice to be the first match on, but man, like, Eddie is so underrated in the ring. Anyway, he's highly rated on the mic, but he's very underrated in the ring. He's able to tell a great story, and Miro, he's always fantastic. Love the shenanigans with the referee towards the end. I'm not sure if they were thinking this beforehand, but I definitely think they're considering doing the rematch in New York and Eddie winning. And I really want that for him. I want him to have a belt to take home to his mom so badly. Like,
right? You know it, like, you know he works 3 jobs, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely brilliant match. Great opener.
Yeah, definitely. Nice way to start off the show. Then we cruised from there straight into Moxley and Kojima. Darling, what did you make of this?
It was overshadowed by Suzuki big time. Like it was a good match. Like, for what it's worth, the strong style that they had in the match. Like, I wasn't really familiar with Kojima personally. Like, I didn't see much of him around, so I wasn't invested in the story of it, because it wasn't really a story. It was just a match that Moxley seems to like to have these days, if he's not involved in any title matches. So
they tried so badly the night before on Dark to set something up. It was just
like, even that, like, he beat Matt Cardona in GCW the night before, like, and he beat him for that title, like, and that wasn't mentioned at all. Like, you know, it's like, this is Moxley's thing now. While he's still in AEW, he's going to be doing these, you know, hardcore death matches, or, you know, strong style matches until he's involved with somebody in AEW, because he's not challenging. He isn't at a feud in AEW with somebody from AEW since Eddie Kingston, you know, when they became a tag team. Like, so I mean, a one-on-one match, like, he hasn't really had that kind of feud. So he's having Suzuki now on Wednesday night again. So, you know, where does John Moxley go on the AEW card with all these big names coming in? Like, you know, John Moxley's one of the biggest stars in the company. Like, but with all these big names coming in, you know, I don't know where he goes.
I think he's since he had a kid, he's just like, lads, don't book me in the feuds.
Yeah, I think he, like, do you know, I think he kind of lives up to, like, the theme music and, like, the whole Roamer and, like, you know, the wild thing, and, you know, he just turns up anywhere whenever he wants. But, like, which is cool for him, because it doesn't tie him down to anything, hence why he can go to the GCW title and things like that. But I think it was cool to see like, 2 veterans, like, I suppose ring veterans, do you know what I mean, just slapping each other around the place. That was pretty cool, but it was respectful as well, do you know, that kind of a way. And, like, even, like, it took 2 finishers to finish off Kojima, which was pretty cool as well. It wasn't just a straightforward, you know, 1, 2, 3 done. And obviously Suzuki. But what I thought was pretty cool, for people who may not be familiar with Suzuki, the people singing his theme music at the end when he was in the ring, it was pretty cool. Like, it was a little bit special, you know. So for those who are diehard fans, or those who aren't, and guarantee a lot of people there weren't diehard fans, for them to be now curious about what this is all about, it's so cool. You know what I mean? It just awakened a whole new audience for wrestling, which is just fab. Lads, Britt Baker and Chris Statlander. Jury C, how did you feel about Britt Baker winning? Right, Colin?
Is that for me? Yeah.
You're all right.
No, I'm still in shock about the match. Yeah, no, it was the right call. Yeah, look, I'm a massive fan of Britt Baker. I love the fact that Jimmy Heather's there, obviously Rebel. But yeah, you know, right call. You know, it was a short match. I think it was about 10, 11 minutes from what I recall. Perfect. Well done, you know, Britt Baker. You know, I put her up there with Charlotte Flair. I think she's, you know, she's got the potential to be, you know, if there was a pound-for-pound ranking, to me right now she'd be in the top 3 definitely. Yeah, and I think it was the right call. They didn't overdo the match. You know, it was a perfect match. I hope that, you know, like, Forbidden Door is going to be quiet, but I do hope that she takes on Diana at some stage. Again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah.
There's huge arrows pointing that way, isn't there? Though, you know, they call each other out on social media quite a bit, which is nice to see. I'd pay my money to see that match. I don't know about you, but I absolutely would. There was Matt. There was a really, really nice nod to Adam Cole with a Panama Sunrise from Britt Baker. Did you catch that?
I catch that. Yeah, I felt like when I saw it, it was like that's either like foreshadowing what's to come, or was that like a little adorable little tribute? Like, aw, she's thinking of
all the feels, like all the feels. Like even with Edge recently doing like, you know, Beth's Glam Slam, I was like, look, this is fab. Look, you need to do one of mine.
Adam Cole actually put Kyle O'Reilly in the fucking
the lockjaw for
Takeover.
Takeover. That's right, yeah. So love you do some of my moves as well when we go and do the shopping, will you?
What's your moves?
Just scream at random people and tell them that you're fuming. And they know it's we need to do that when we're doing the shopping. But with that, to be honest, I don't think this was a bad showcase either for Statlander. She's come on leaps and bounds since she was first introduced to us, I think. And say what you want about this, guys, but honestly, I think this is where AEW is far superior because she is booked as been from, what is it, from the Andromeda Galaxy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if she was, and she comes out and the commentary are selling it like, you know, where does she learn these moves? Because she's got some very unique skill set. But if that was WWE, she'd fly to the ring in a spaceship, surrounded by hornswoggle aliens, and she would be painted with planets on her fucking head. Do you know what I mean? It's so subtle in AEW. It's not like, she's from space in our faces all the time. It's just, you know what I mean? It's so subtle that she doesn't have to be presented to me as an alien with 10 eyes. She doesn't. I get it. You know, I get her gimmick, which is where storytelling-wise, AEW in presentation is far, far superior. And Orange Cassidy had like probably the longest vocal moment of his whole career by screaming at her. What did you think?
That was amazing. I loved their gear that they had as well when they came out.
Yeah. Really, really cool. Like on par, you know, on par. And
but what AEW does so well is they give these kind of girls a chance because you don't see that in WWE at all. You see all the same faces.
Yeah.
Like Alexa and Charlotte feud again. People probably see.
I know, but that's kind of like, you know, when you take that wrong road when you're driving back from Dublin and you see the sign saying "Welcome to Bar Nassery," right? That's what that whole was away from Alexa Bliss and stuff. It was like she's feuding with Alexa Bliss, and then we just took this wrong fucking road, and then we're like, oh, we're back to Alexa Bliss, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, totally, Phil. There are streets ahead of it when they're doing something like that, and hopefully with a bit more time, they will be able to develop the women's division further. Coming out of the Battle Royale, actually, that let me see where we go. Oh no, we're going to the other one first. Coming out of that a lot of feuds have been built and a little bit more clearer direction for the women's division.
Yeah,
that's the next match. I swear to Christ, I think I left the atmosphere. This was just ridiculous. The tag team titles match. There's not enough stars in the sky to give this match. This is match of the year contender without a doubt.
You want me to be a nitpicker? I'll be a big nitpicker on this one.
Oh, here's Phil now, Brian. Here's Phil Meltzer. Say nothing.
I absolutely love the shoe bits with the pins. I absolutely despise the super kick party with a passion.
I mean, come here, look, I'd be your bud there, Phil. I'm not the biggest fan of a super kick party, but the fact that the other team were involved in it softened the blow for me a bit, you know. But
it was like, I actually thought that Kenny Omega and Hangman Page had a better match with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Last year, yeah.
See, there's a lot of chemistry there.
But that match was almost perfect. It just had little things.
Except for that. Noted. Take that down for Tony. Take that down for Tony.
Phil is
taking a note, Phil.
Almost a superhero, almost perfect.
Yeah.
Phil
it was something else. Matt, did you enjoy that match?
I enjoyed the match. I was just going to say that Phil was putting a Stephanie McMahon to say it's solid C+.
Yeah.
She could be taking a few fucking notes here. She could.
No way.
I saw the match, and when I saw the shoe, I didn't hear the commentary. I thought, oh, Nick, it's just gonna wear the shoe. I'm like, oh, super kick, and my reaction was, oh, wear the shoe, and then he's gonna wear what's that? Jesus, Mary, Mother of Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I was, it was just, I think that match is going to be iconic to me at this point.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once that match is done, once the Lucha Brothers won the tag titles, I thought it's official. AEW knows their audience. They're not treating us like, idiots. They're like, are they going to win this one? And when it looks like that, the Young Bucks is definitely going to win. And we thought it's just a squash match. Lucha Brothers come out on top. So I actually had low expectations of this match, but it was just something else.
Yes.
So it was,
they were blown out of the water, my expectations for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, from Pentas sling blades to the fucking what was it, stereo pile drivers on the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, in case you didn't know. It was just it was just poetry in motion, the chemistry, and it was just so smooth. Make match of the year contender.
Best cage match I've ever seen, ever.
Yeah,
that's
unreal.
very
not massive. Well, I don't know, man. I already love hate relationship with cage matches.
Yeah,
they're usually either really
I
good
actually
or
hate cage matches. I hate cage matches.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's so hard to get cage matches right. I say, if they're good, they're great, but usually they miss the mark. But this hit every mark there is. For sure, best cage match I've ever seen. That's all I got to say about it, really.
Totally.
The fact that it was pinfall or submission, there was no escaping the cage, made it better because
it did.
Opening the door and escaping or climbing over escaping while your man's down, you could just pin him. It makes absolutely no sense for cage matches.
Yeah.
So every cage match should either have you win by escape or you win by pinfall. There's no in between.
Yeah. And I think we all had a bit of a sick taste in our mouth after Hell in a Cell there a couple of years back, but I think this redeems the whole idea of certain style matches. Moving on from that, we had our casino battle royale. Jerry C outcame our Joker, Ruby Soho. Were you happy?
I called it. I said she was going to win it. Yeah. You know what? She used, before her name, this is what I know. Before her name came up, right? The crowd fucking erupted. So, obviously the team song meant something, but I thought she was incredible. The pop she got, I'm surprised she could break down. You could see she was quite emotional, but it was unreal. And I think the fact that she, eliminated Thunder Rosa, it was savage. 21 women in that casino battle royal. She's going to be a future AEW Women's Champion, and I think rightly so. She was fucked about in a certain company that we love to talk about in our shows, but. I'd say Vince is looking at himself now and really saying, I've watched all these stars leave my company, 1 or 2 days in another company, and they're absolutely shining. So, they've really lost a big superstar, but all Elite Wrestling have gained an absolute superstar. So I'm delighted. She's a lovely girl.
That's going back to what Elizabeth said earlier. That goes back to what you were saying about presentation. There's just none like WWE.
Oh my God, lads! Now, come here. Don't get me wrong. Ruby has a very, very unique look. Absolute stunner. But compared to how she was presented in WWE, it might not be a huge difference to a lot of people. But she screamed star. She just screamed star the other night. Whatever they've done, and do you know what it was as well? Do you know you can see the misery leaving someone's eyes? She was just genuinely happy to be there. And even the post-media scrum as well, she was still shaking. She was still nervous, but so happy. And she got that feeling back and her love back for it. So I'm absolutely thrilled for her. But there was a good showcase as well for quite a few others in that battle royal. A few of them were maybe not as memorable, but it set up a nice few feuds. What do you make, darling, of Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose? Do you think something...
Jade Cargill? She did that about 10 times in the match. Every time she threw someone out, she was just like...
Do you mind your fucking gun show?
Scott Steiner.
He likes it.
Scott Steiner.
Jade Cargill, Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose. Jade Cargill should be getting pushed up the roster now. After that, she needs to be feuding with the top women in that roster and beating. She needs to be beating Nyla Rose and Big Swole, and even Thunder Rosa dare say it. Maybe this time next year she'll be winning the battle royal, or she'll be champion.
She needs to work longer matches. She needs that, she needs that experience of working with the best of the best. She needs to learn from them.
She needs to be on TV. She's on Dark and whatever, but she needs to be on TV. She needs TV time. People get to know
it. She's an absolute athlete. You know what I mean? So,
she has everything. Yeah.
Her and Bianca Belair are the two people for the future of women's wrestling.
Oh,
two.
legit, Layla Hirsch was really good.
But
Well, and that's
if you remember what happened to Bianca Belair the year before she won the Royal Rumble, she eliminated like
Yeah.
9 people, and then right next year,
Phenomenal.
with something like so. It's similar. I think it's a similar story. If they
Give her a year.
the storyline right, should be amazing next year.
Exactly. That's it.
Definitely. Just that's it. She does a bit of work this year now, and she's flying. Like, but as you said, they are the future of women's
But
wrestling.
just,
You know,
just
it's
one
such a
last thing
departure
there.
from what we're used
If you
to.
put Virgil by her side, and she'd be unbelievable.
Oh, sweet
One
Jesus.
last thing. One last thing on Ruby Soho. How long was she in WWE?
Too long.
5 years, is it?
It's just she got one title shot on a pay-per-view, just one title shot on one.
She never held a title.
Blonda.
Do you know
Never
what?
did,
Like,
no.
oh my God, what a shame! Like, what a shame. But
I mean,
so excited for her story. Really, like Ty Conti got a good show as well in that. She came out like a beast and looked super, super strong. So looking forward to seeing what they do with her and Anna Jay, because she looked well as well. To be fair. But yeah, good show overall for the Casino Battle Royale. Then we were all worked, lads. The big dirty troll. All the emotions and all the feels. I was like, they're doing the countdown. They're doing the countdown. Oh my God, lads, he's going to lose. What are we going to do? Out strolls MJF. And I swear to Christ, I fucking howled. The biggest work ever for anybody to see MJF come out after the countdown. It was amazing. And I absolutely love hating him. He is phenomenal. Matt, were you tricked? And when he came out and you were like, stop.
I think Mick said this a while back about MJF, and I was like agreeing with him. It was like, we're fans of MJF, but we don't know why. We fucking hate the prick, but we love him. And I said, yes, MJF, fucking prick. But I was like you, I was like getting emotional. I was like, oh God, they're doing it. And then it just said Chris Jericho, that's Matt. I still thought it was Chris Jericho. Maybe because he just,
me too.
I was like, hold on, hope. I said, it's MJ, it's Chris Jericho. Oh wait, no, MJF.
It was so good. It was so good. Like, Jerry C, were you fooled?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I thought it was fucking epic. And as I said, MJF is box office. He is absolute box office. If I think back to one of Jericho's feuds, I just wish this feud happened for Jericho 10 years prior to now.
Yeah.
It would have been like the matches are brilliant, but it would just been that bit better. Look, MJF is the future, guys. He's fucking box office, and I hope one day that we all do a live show at MJF, because I can guarantee.
I'm going to go with a bold statement that he's going to be the first guy to leave him.
Well,
now I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. If you look at it, he's box office. Vince is probably saying to himself, right? Because we're all watching all these guys leave WWE and go to AEW. You could be sure that Vince will throw bigger money at these guys at some stage. Yeah,
definitely. He's what a leaner EC3 should have been. What Vince would have liked. Do you know what I mean? There was something missing from EC3 that they just took him because they could. You know what I mean? But there was something not connected for him for Vince. And if you had him and MJF, you've got a dream for Vince. But I read that as well, Phil. I was like, he would probably be the first person to leave them because it's more the stardom, I suppose. But I can see TK throwing a few bob at him to make sure that he doesn't. I'd be a bit wary, you know. Nick, after this, where do you think it's going? Chris Jericho put out like a tweet saying, it was one of the longest feuds he's had in like 20 years, and he thanks everybody for all his support and stuff. So, are we done? And how do we move forward from this? You know what I mean? Like MJF coming out to a loss, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't think anyone predicted this result. I certainly didn't. I thought MJF was going to win it all day. So it's hard to see where either of them go from here on. But like we all know Jericho's on the way out anyway to do his tour. So they'll have to ride him out in some way. I think the most logical way to do that would be to maybe have the Pinnacle beat shit out of him or something like that, or so have MJF try and get one up back on Chris Jericho in some way. And then like maybe MJF can go on and win a title later on down the road, and then Jericho can come back and while he's during that title reign, something like that, That's just something off the top of my head. But it's very hard to know. I'm not worried about where MJF goes next, because no matter what he does, it's gonna be money, I'm just more curious about how they're gonna write off Chris Jericho.
Aleister Black.
What?
Aleister Black.
Malachi.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
Do
Yeah.
you think he might be the one who will give him an old boot round the side of the head and take him out for a bit?
Could be.
Yeah, maybe. It's possible.
What if the Inner Circle turn on him?
Yeah.
I
thought they were going to turn him when they come out. They celebrate.
I had that feeling as well.
They're going to take him out and he's going to be gone. This is how they're getting rid of him. He didn't lose, but they're going to take him out. They should have took him out just to cause more drama. Like.
Yeah.
I couldn't have taken any more drama that night. I don't think I could have. My heart couldn't have taken it.
Sammy Guevara could lead the Inner Circle then himself, like, or create his own stable with the rest of them. Like, he could have been the leader. Sammy Guevara, like, Sammy Guevara didn't have a match on the pay per view, like, was a shame, like, because he's
the best Jericho match in a long.
He's on the rise, like.
Yeah,
it really was.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with Phil. I dare I say I think it's probably one of the best match. Next to the Steel Cage match and the Kenny Omega and Christian Cage match and the WrestleSlam. You know what? One of the best matches. I'm rambling. One of the best matches of the night, and I think it's just because they have such good chemistry, MJF and Chris Jericho, and you can clearly tell. And going back what you said about comparing MJF to other wrestlers, I think the one wrestler that comes to mind that I compare MJF to is Chris Jericho back in his WCW days. Yeah. He was young. He was getting into everyone's faces. He knew how to just piss off the crowd, piss off wrestlers, like what MJF is doing. So I think that's kind of my wrestler I compare MJF to. So that's what makes the matches so perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah. He's Billy Murray and Scrooge. He is like by a million. It's fabulous. It really is something else. Following that, lads, I'm going to throw this to you, Hubster. Darby Allin and CM Punk. What did you make of it?
For what it was, it served its purpose. It wasn't the best showcase of the night, like, you know, Punk's first match in 7 years, so there was always going to be a lot of hype about it, like, you know. And it was a good match. They told stories, and you saw the clips coming out now about them paying respects to Bret Hart and the 1, 2, 3 kid.
That was cute,
which was cool. Like, but you know, maybe they paid homage to other people during the match who didn't see it. Like, so, it served its purpose. So Punk's back now, but I think Punk still needs to go heel. I don't buy the whole happy-go-lucky Punk, and I never will. He should be pissing off. He shouldn't be hugging Tony Khan. Like, he needs to be pissing Tony Khan off and causing fucking people matches and shit. So but it was a good match.
I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I was all for the heel turn the other night, and then I'm kind of going to myself, like, because WWE painted him as such a bad guy, and now especially the shit that's going around about him, like, oh, we've no interest in him, or Phil Brooks is the person. I'm like, don't be shitty. But they painted him in such a bad light to everybody and tried to put such a bad taste in everyone's mouth about him. I think they may be trying to undo a little bit of that damage first before they turn him into the CM Punk that we all know and love, I suppose, you know? With that, from that match, definitely, I think for what it was, absolutely fine. I don't think... Fuck, the house is falling down. I don't think that I know what happened there. I don't think that it done anybody any damage, and I don't think Darby came out of it looking any worse here.
Exactly.
You know, I don't think so at all. Jerry C, Darby Allin destined for stardom.
Yeah, and I think Punk 1 star for that match.
You would give Punk 1 star for that match? Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
I agree. I think the crowd were dead for about 5 minutes of it.
Yeah. I think they expected too much, first of all. I think Punk was below a pair.
Also, it was weird to see him in pants.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Lads.
He's in good shape. It reminded me of the time Goldberg had a fucking pants on there a few months back. I'm worried about Punk. I'm worried about Punk. I am worried about Punk. I think that they need to fight him good matches.
Daniel Bryan is brought in for that reason.
In a way, I don't know. I think... I don't even think Daniel Bryan can make him look good.
I think so.
Oh my God.
It was always going to.
I fucking love it.
It was never going to go up to. It was never going to live up to the expectations of what everyone expected it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think you have to keep in mind that it's literally his first time. It is his first match in 7 years. Like, and it was always going to start slow and build. You know, it's clear he doesn't. It's clear he hasn't built up the cardio to do a banger yet. Like, it was very clear. Hence all the rest holds and everything like that. But if you look at the match from a story perspective rather than a work rate perspective, it was fine. I think 1 star is very, very harsh.
Oh my God, lads, Jesus! And poor Fecker, like 1 star, you don't like the knickers he's wearing, and you're just, I'm bitchy, but you're taking it to a whole fucking.
No, I just think that
came back.
Lost the remit for the lot of you.
Goldberg came back and fucked up Brock Lesnar in a couple of seconds. You know, why didn't Punk do the same? You know what I mean? It's.
No. Let's not put a dampener jar there, Jerry, with fucking Goldberg coming back and they're killing the poor fucking Undertaker for starters.
It should have been what Mick said last week. Should have been what Mick said last week about him just passing out in the Anaconda Vice.
Yeah. Good call.
My Anaconda don't want none.
Yes, you got puns on. Moving on. With that, Paul White and QT Marshall.
And it was what it was. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely. I don't know. Can you say any more than that? It was what it was. It just Paul White got his he got his match in the ring. That's all he wanted to do was get a match in the ring with AEW. In the ring with AEW. He got it. Fine for what it was. But what I will say here, I'd say you'd agree, is the match placement was very clever because we went from CM Punk and I was about to say Mick Stone. We went from CM Punk as your name, fuck's sake. Went from CM Punk to Darby Allin down to that just before we were coming up to the main event. So I think the match placement there was super important and I thought it was really, really clever as well. So I don't know if we can add any more to that. It was what it was, you know, especially when there is what's coming next. So then we had our main event. We had Omega and Christian Cage for the title.
They had a better match. They had a better match a few weeks ago.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely.
I'm down, Phil.
Yeah.
Phil's on a roll, mate. My God, he's living up to Phil Netzer. Like he's on a roll.
It was, you know what? It was okay. It was okay for what it was, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
I think the one thing I just didn't really like about the match was the use of the table. Because if you remember Eddie Kingston and Nero, how the referee was all over with the loose turnbuckle, but was totally cool with the table. I thought, okay, this is happening, but they don't really need it. They're good wrestlers, they already know. But of course, the elite Kenny wins the match, and that was it. I couldn't watch the rest of it, so that was it. I just went off and was like, all right, that's it. All right, have a good one. What happened next?
You know what I actually loved is Vince Russo's comments about it. It was hilarious. Did you see it?
Yeah. Vince rewriting history, is he?
No, Vince Russo was like Tony Khan is like a kid with toys. He's like, you're going here and you're going there.
But do you know what? How long have we needed a fan to write a show?
Exactly.
You know, someone who understands it, not just a fan who tunes in every week, but understands the logistics, the creativity, the harmony, the working, the chemistry, the whole lot. Someone who understands that. We've needed that for so long, and now we're getting it. So yes, absolutely, play with any toys you want.
Can we just say, first of all, like Christian headlined All Out, one of the best pay-per-views of all time. Christian, who was retired up until January. So fair fucks to Christian. He's the Impact champion. He's headlining pay-per-views. Welcome back, Christian.
1,000,000%. And you know what? He lived up to the hype and his motto of outwork everyone. He really did. He went into the ring with Omega and he stood toe to toe with him, to be fair. You know, he can still go. So it was a pleasure to watch. A touch overshadowed by what everybody had a great strong idea of what was to come. So I think there was a huge amount of anticipation, you know. So definitely a great match. We can't take it away from the guys. Maybe a better few weeks ago. But then Adam Cole, baby!
I knew he was going to super kick him when I see Jungle Boy getting up. I knew he was going to kick him.
Did you? Look, Phil, stop piddling all over everything now. Can you not just be happy that Adam Cole
you know what? Out? I just read a story there that Tony Khan tried to buy the Final Countdown and he was outpriced.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
That's no excuse.
Outpriced by WWE Extreme Rules, which will be sponsored by Europe and the Final Countdown.
Oh, it will be. They'll probably perform fucking live, I'd say.
But I won't be surprised.
Like, that was mad. And then, you know when it's like a bad breakup and you're like, well, I didn't really like him anyway, right? And this is the fucking story now that WWE are peddling. It's this, well, they're no great laughs anyway. Go back and listen to the pop of a new legion of wrestling fans that Adam Cole got, and go back and take your comments back to where they belong, up your hole. Did you ever hear the likes of
Was that the biggest crowd he did the Adam Cole baby to since New York?
Yeah. And it was deafening. And the theme tune, his entrance music was different, but everybody still got it. Not to be outdone, Matt, your man, Daniel Bryan, came out.
Oh, gee, I actually thought he wasn't going to make a debut. I thought that was it. I thought it was just going to be Adam Cole, Kenny Omega taking over. But no, Daniel Bryan came out. I thought, I knew he was going to come.
Bryan Danielson, Matt, how dare you?
Yeah. And he's not allowed to do the SC either. He's not allowed.
Affirmative.
Yeah.
So, no, it was good, definitely. Were we all in agreement that Daniel Bryan coming out was a nice little tip, but didn't take away from Adam Cole?
Yeah.
Yes.
Adam Cole as a heel is the best thing for him, so yeah.
1,000,000%. He's money as a heel, you know, so super excited to see how it goes. Jerry, happy to see Daniel Bryan back?
Yeah, I was delighted.
Bryan Danielson?
Yeah, no, I think the pop, I like the team was savage, a little kind of, gangster touch to it. But yeah, it's great to see him back. He looks great, looks $1,000,000. I would love it if he just ran to the ring and just attacked someone. Yeah. That would have been class. I think the way Adam Cole came out first was kind of cool, but yeah, look, great to have him there. Rumor mill always tells the truth. So yeah, look, great. Big things to come. Can't wait for future feuds.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. And that, guys, wraps up our AEW All Out review. Thank you so much for joining us. As you can tell, we are all super excited. Tune in at the weekend for this week's podcast where we talk all about news. But for myself, Jerry, Matt, Jerry, Phil, and Nick, bye for now.
Bye. Boom.